Let's go to the Packers. Aaron Jones, the RB9. AJ Dillon, a year later, a post-hype RB37. I mean, Jones is a top 10 running back. Can you make a case for Jones over like Zeke, for example? Like, because I mean, it's based on Aaron Rodgers, I guess, right?
Yeah, that's what the hell are you doing with Aaron Rodgers? I don't know if we can bank on him to be the week 1 starter for the Packers. So how much of an impact does it have in your model for Jones? Because for me, he'll probably still be a high-end RB2, even with Jordan Love under center. I think he's that talented. But certainly, if we were to have the clarity that Aaron Rodgers would be the week 1 starter, I would love Aaron Jones at ADP right now, because I think he is more of a mid-range RB1 without Jamal Williams there. But how are you factoring in the Aaron Rodgers uncertainty into this backfield right now?
I don't think it changes much, because I think if you have a different quarterback than Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones is like probably the focal point of this offense over Davante Adams. So I don't think it changes much, because Dillon wasn't really involved last year. So I just think Dillon is Williams, Jones is Jones, and whatever touchdowns you lose from the offense being able to drive up and down the field with Rodgers, you probably get it back in just usage with Jones, because he's probably going to have to be he's going to be the game plan every week. You can't, aim on throwing, 15 times to Davante Adams every week, because you're not throwing 40 times with Jordan Love every week, So I actually think Jones is a pretty safe bet. I'm interested as to what you think at Dillon at 37 though, because that's, that could go either way. I think he is going to get the Williams role, which then kind of puts him in that range.
Yeah, I love AJ Dillon, and I have him in one of my main dynasty leagues, so I was bummed that they signed Aaron Jones to that extension. But yeah, I view him as a high upside handcuff, really. You're not expecting much week to week as long as Aaron Jones there. He might siphon away a goal line touchdown or two. Now that Jamal Williams is gone. Yeah.
Why?
Here we go.
Why would the guy who's the best player at scoring touchdowns in the league why wouldn't he just get that's what I don't get. I get that he's big. Dillon is big, but Jones has been literally the best red zone runner for the last 2-3 years.
I disagree with you when it comes to I think if Aaron Rodgers isn't there, is going to impact their touchdown share quite a bit. I think that the touchdown projections for the Packers would go down. I think we could agree on that.
No, I agree with that. I meant the production.
The efficiency.
He would get less 6-pointers, but he would get more yardage that would equate to making up some of that difference.
Yeah, I agree. I think Aaron Rodgers has less of an impact on the running backs than the ancillary receivers and Robert Tonyan specifically. I think those are the people that have the biggest impact on who's made quarterback. So yeah, no, I do think Dillon has RB3/flex potential on certain weeks, maybe if they have they're a big favorite, let's say. Certainly I think he's useful in those situations, but I think when you take him, you're still just banking on the RB2 injury upside if Aaron Jones were ever go down. I just consider AJ Dillon a handcuff rather than a guy you're planning to start every week.
Yeah, and one of the better handcuffs, obviously.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, a handcuff nonetheless. Still the much less talented receiver than Joe. I think you know what I think is a best case scenario for AJ Dillon, kind of like a Ronald Jones type of situation where you know what I mean. It's there's two backs, they're both good. You don't get much receiving, but you're just busting off big runs enough to kind of pay off. So yeah, that's what I see for Dillon. Tonyan is the tight end 18. I mean, he's gonna beat that if Rodgers is the quarterback. That's pretty simple, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's probably the guy tied to Aaron Rodgers the most, where he's undraftable if it's Jordan Love, and then if Aaron Rodgers is the week 1 starter, he's gonna smash ADP there because he's touchdown dependent, which is I'm saying that the Packers touchdown projection is tied to Aaron Rodgers starting week 1. So that's why I'm saying Tonyan. If you think Aaron Rodgers is going to start week 1, you want to load up on Tonyan now while you can get him cheap.
How do you factor in the uncertainty with Adams then? Because he's going as the number 2 wide receiver on Fantasy Pros consensus, half PPR, ADP, behind Tyreek, but ahead of Stephon Diggs, DeAndre Hopkins, DK Metcalf, Calvin Ridley, AJ Brown, Justin Jefferson, Michael Thomas, Keenan Allen, Terry McLaurin, and Allen Robinson. So mean, it's Adams is another guy, right? It's he's probably the number 1 overall, but how much do you discount the uncertainty? Is 2 enough? Or, should he be more of like a top 5 guy? Like, where do you have him?
I think he's a top 5 guy. Right now, I would take Stephon Diggs over him. So have Diggs number 2. I think with the uncertainty, take Diggs there. But Adams is an elite receiver. I think he can put up wide receiver 1 numbers with anybody. We saw that in 2017.
Yeah.
Brett Hundley had to make 7 starts. And I don't care what you think about Jordan Love. I think he's a better talent than Brett Hundley. And Davante Adams put up wide receiver 14 numbers in those 7 starts. So he's proven that he could put up borderline wide receiver 1 numbers with some scrub in there. So I do think he will be mid to low wide receiver 1 if Jordan Love's in there. So I think when you factor that in, I would still draft him as, say, the wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4. Again, the Aaron Rodgers situation, it's so murky that it's hard to have a strong opinion about that. But if you're confident he'll play for the Packers by, say, week 3, definitely take Davante Adams, wide receiver 3.
All right, what's the prop?
The prop is Aaron Rodgers total touchdown passes. And how are you handling his games played specifically? So my projection right now is 34.5 passing.
I have 35. Like, this is because, like, for people out there, like, we don't actually compare notes. We have an outline that we put, like Sean will put the prop in, but like he doesn't put his projection in. So like we're not comparing notes in the sense of like, okay, we're looking, and it's like there's been a couple of these where we're like on.
Pretty close. That makes me feel better about my projection.
Yeah, listen, we're in what? This is July, early July. The NBA is not even over as we record this. I'm not gonna go out and like adjust Aaron Rodgers to something that we don't really know. I'm just gonna assume that he's playing. I'm gonna assume that he's in Green Bay. I'm gonna assume that his receiving core drops off a cliff after Davante Adams, and I'm going to assume that he still has, after seeing him last year, he still has a few years left in him. I thought he was going downhill like some quarterbacks tend to do. But I think a lot of that has just been his supporting cast and kind of the offense. I think they've kind of figured out a way for him to operate at a high level, even with this, after Davante, who the defenses know it's coming, he still manages to put up huge numbers. So I'm not going to slander Aaron Rodgers this year. He's proven me wrong. He's proven the doubters wrong. Probably should have been in the Super Bowl, if not for some questionable coaching decisions and draft decisions, because maybe the guy would have been open and he wouldn't have had to even think about, he would have been able to throw to the end zone there. So, I think 30 in the mid 30s is where you're going to see him as a medium projection.